Welcome all of you to my YouTube channel, Animals and Pets with Partha. Here I am back again with a new episode. This one, of course, I thought I will come up with, which actually I've been inspired to do after my episode which I had done in Bengali, which was regarding the, what puppy to choose, whether a male or a female. But that episode was done in Bengali. And I have had messages from not only people in India, but also people from Bangladesh have actually come back and told me that it was very helpful to them to choose whether they wanted a male or a female. They were really undecided, but after having listened to my Bengali episode, they finally made the choice. Well, today I am going to talk to you on the same subject. Maybe, my version would be a little different, but I will be doing this in English. And usually, it's the new puppy owner today. What do they come across? When a person decides to buy a puppy, the best is to look up the internet or the sort of search, and you will find hundreds and hundreds of puppy sellers that will come up. There are lots of WhatsApp groups, Facebook advertisements, and everybody just busy marketing their commodities. Without marketing, nothing gets sold in today's world. India has a vast puppy market, a huge pet market, and to cater to that, there are plenty of puppy farmers that have come up, which is very unfortunate though. Gone are those earlier days when very sincere and dedicated breeders used to breed, and they would be expecting to advertise their dogs, and when people came to their houses to buy puppies, they would interview them and would try to find out whether they would make suitable owners of the puppies. Because so much of hard work, dedication, love and care that goes behind a sort of a sincere dog breeder who puts in that amount of effort, he or she would expect that their puppies go to good homes. But those breeders have become rare now. Even if there are some, and they do breed, but they do very little breeding, especially maybe just to improve upon their own stock, or not really for the puppy market. But the market does not stop. It's a huge demand of puppies, and if anyone breeds, and if he's not a professional breeder, he would, and if he tries to advertise and try to get to the direct customers who would actually, would come to their homes, and they would pick up a puppy, they would lovingly take it home and keep it. The situation is not such. Generally, what you will get is the traders who are going to call you. And even if you have customers calling you, they do not differentiate between a breeder and a seller. And they would start bargaining on the telephone. And the breeder who's not actually a professional dog breeder, maybe has a casual litter, it's difficult for them to cope with that bargaining. And so what finally happens is the puppies start growing, and it becomes difficult for them to keep, and it's a distress sell, and they sell it to the puppy traders. And in the markets you will see those small puppies in cages, wanting that some compassionate owner would pick them up. Then there are a lot of impulsive buying that is also taking place. So anyway, we will set aside all this and let us now consider that there is somebody who's wanting to really own a puppy and is a first time puppy owner and wants to go to a sincere breeder and wants to pick up a puppy. I would suggest for a person like that who is looking to buy a good puppy, he should try and find out a modest breeder, which is of course rare, and you might have to be a bit patient and sort of look around and do some research before you find the right sort of breeder. A male dog, actually, as you must have observed, mostly the males go around marking their territory by urinating on all the objects by lifting their legs, and it's the habit, it's the inborn nature of males to do that. So that is the way they mark their territory. It's for all carnivorous animals. They go around marking territories, and the females, of course, will not do that. And so once, if you are living in a small apartment and you have a male, and supposing it goes around and urinates on your sofa set and all that, it's very difficult because to get it off that habit. Because what happens is, the scent of that urine will remain on that sofa set for a long, long time. And they will continuously, whenever they get an opportunity, they would like to mark their territory by going there and sort of urinating on that place where they get that smell. Of course, the smell may not be very human, for the human olfactory senses may not be able to detect that smell, but for a dog, which they have so strong olfactory senses that they will be able to get that smell, and they will repeatedly go and sort of urinate on that piece of furniture. But for females, they have extreme control, and it's very difficult, very easy to train them to go and do their business at the right place. The other thing is, the females are much more affectionate than the males. They will be much easier to train, and for breeds like German Shepherds, Golden Retrievers, Labrador Retrievers, and all that, the females are very easily trainable, because it's also in their breeding. The breed themselves, these breeds are so, the characteristics of these breeds are so well bred into their genetics that they make wonderful pets, and it will be very easy for people to train the females. But the males, on the other hand, of course, need to, you will have all these difficulties. But then it depends on what sort of, whether a person is prepared to take care of that male, because he has to be taken out to relieve themselves more often than a female. So if you are living in a small apartment, and if you have a big dog, and you don't have that much of help to take the dog out to do its business, or if you are unable to train the dog to you have a place where they can relieve themselves, it's very difficult to manage a male. For me, I would suggest that it is always good to consider a female, and the other thing that which you may be worried about is their breeding. It is not at all necessary to breed unless you are a professional breeder. Because what will happen if you breed from a female which you've taken as a pet, and if you listen to the advice of people around you and to the vets and all that, trainers, handlers, they might suggest that you have to breed the dog once and things like that, which actually will result in, because you are not a professional breeder, and you won't know how to sell the dogs, and you may not. So what you finally will land up is selling the whole lock, stock and barrel, all the puppies to the puppy trader, who will keep it in cages and try to find a home. So it will be a distress sell. You have to sell it at a very low price to these people who will be actually for them it is just a merchandise, and they have no feeling, they have no compassion or love for that animal. It's only the money that drives them, and it is very painful for the person who's actually loved their dogs, and they have taken a lot of pains to rear small puppies and to give it to people to keep it in cages and sell it. So I would suggest you can, if you are really worried, you can go in for a surgery, elective surgery, which is you can have a hysterectomy on the dog, on the bitch, so that she does not come on heat again. And so the question of breeding doesn't arise. So there is no problem of soiling the house or the bedding or whatever. And so it's not actually at all necessary that you have to breed from that dog. So I would suggest that taking a female would be advantageous for a new dog owner than to go for a male without being prepared to take that extra care, that extra effort that is required, which is not really easy. I, as a person who's been keeping dogs for 50 years, and I was a breeder for a long time, but have not been breeding of late for reasons very personal, because nowadays it's very difficult for people to, I do not want that my puppies go through any puppy traders. I would always prefer to sell them to direct homes, loving homes. Money is not the matter, but finding a good home was always my priority. So I have never bred for for profit. So dogs have been a passion for me, and therefore I have stopped breeding dogs for quite some time, for many years now, maybe a decade or even more. So with these words, I am going to conclude, and please give it a thought, do some research. But if you take my advice, if you are a first-time puppy owner, go for a female. If you are worried about its periods, get it operated once the bitch becomes an adult, and then there is no worries at all. They are more obedient, they are more affectionate, and easier to handle. Thank you, and we'll be back on this subject again with, of course, I'll be dealing, it's a very, very vast subject. Yeah, there are lots and lots of things that I would like to communicate to the new intending puppy owner, but it's not possible in one episode. It will become too long and too boring for you to understand. So thank you, and bye-bye, and good night, and see you again soon in my new episode. Please do subscribe to my channel, then press on the bell button so that you get the intimation for my next episode. And then then you can, of course, if you like it, do share it with your friends, and of course do subscribe to my channel. That'll encourage me to do more videos, more episodes. That will be beneficial for the pet lovers, animal lovers, dog lovers. And thank you, and good night again.